Hello everybody and welcome back to a Sunday look at everything that's growing on in the gardens here. Figured we'd start outside and then get inside where it's a whole lot warmer. So yeah, let's get started. Most interesting thing out here is probably the bunker garden. Our snow from yesterday has turned into rain. A quick inspection found quite a few of these guys still okay, but quite a few that had also swollen and cracked. So I will be coming out here in a bit, pulling the ones that remain. We'll find some use for those green tomatoes, but they are definitely done growing this year. So I lied. We are in fact starting upstairs. This is the other cup with the Naga Viper seeds that Punky sent me. We have another little sprout coming up in there. Again, can't quite tell if that's tomato or a pepper, but here's to hope, right? There are quite a few seeds in there. Hopefully a few more of them will pop up. Hopefully they will in fact be peppers. Yes. Anyway, here's what's going on in the studio other than seeds. Spider plants everywhere. This is the one that was outside. Look how broad those leaves are. That is impressive. Anyway, I guess we should check out the kitchen windowsill too, since we're looking at random plants along the way to the dungeon. So up here in the windowsill, the Bad Brains pepper seems to be coming along pretty nicely, I'd say. I have had a couple of aphids spotted on here, but nothing a little squish can't deal with. Got some on here. This is, I believe this is the Ahi Fantasy. Again, since it's come upstairs, it's looking much better. Here is the so-called Reaper. This thing is doing so well. Down at the bottom here, we can see some branching starting to form. Very exciting. Hopefully that will actually produce a proper Reaper for me. As I've said before, I'm terrified to try eating it, but would love to be able to say I've grown one. Would love to be able to say I've tried eating it, even though it's gonna hurt. Okay, so now we've made it into the dungeon gardens. Gonna start on the houseplant shelf. We've got this pitcher plant. Looking good. Looking very good. Still don't know if it's caught anything. Still have yet to check. This one here, this part of it's definitely dying off, but if we look right at the base there's new life coming up by the Enterprise, so that's excellent. Little lemon tree. The new growth still seems to be looking alright, forming as I would kind of expect. Got some old leaves I gotta clean off here. I still haven't figured out a better lighting situation for it, so it's still here, but that's going to be moved soon. Spider plant, mint plant. Got 4 more little spider plants. Just recently put those in there last couple of days, so they're not looking great. I'm sure they'll pick up in time, though. As far as the overwintered peppers, I'd say the Matchbox is still very much a contender for their worst looking pepper, followed closely by the Red Demon down here. I don't know. Might still be alive, might not. Really hard to tell. But still getting some color on those peppers, so I'm going to call that a win. Same with the Matchbox. As long as it's still not dropping them, it's allowed to stick around. Sahi Guyana, probably getting on time to water that, but the plant itself seems to be doing alright. This, I believe, is the Ahi Lemon Drop in the coffee can. Still hasn't dropped those pepper pods off of it yet, so that's got to be a good sign. Not seeing a lot of new leaves, but there are some. Just kind of see if I can get to it with the camera up by the pods. So I'm hopeful that sucker might still live. Of course, the Dieffenbachia has been down here for a while. It's just fine. More spider plants. They're all just fine. The overwintered mouse melon. Here's a fun one. Can you see that little tiny thing there? Focus camera. Let's see if we can get the camera to do its job. I think that's the beginning of a teeny tiny dungeon mouse melon. That is awesome. Didn't think this thing would live through coming inside, but that's new growth. That's new growth. A little flower, a little flower. I mean, these things are so cute and tiny, right? There's my pinky. My pinky. Ridiculous. Let's see what else we got of interest growing on down here. The tomato that I pulled out of that newer raised bed garden, now right in front of the chicken coop. Still seems to be doing alright. No color on these little green orbs yet. Would be nice to see little red hangers on there one of these days, but I'll take what I can get. The Ahipenic variants are doing alright. That one here was supposed to have been a red demon. I still think it's a garden salsa, which means I could take it at this stage here if I want, because it's pretty much on par with a jalapeno. But I'm letting it do its thing, grow a few more of them for me. The leaves that it's forming on here do seem to be solid and sturdy. I think this plant's actually going to make it, which would be super awesome. The Nepalese Belle looking better than it did all summer. It's another one of the not a red demons. It too, like, it's got the new growth. They're all doing this kind of curled up thing. So I'm going to have to look that up, see what's going on there, but still looking like they're alive. Got that I'm in no rush / sugar rush red. Still waiting on that to get to, like, I don't know. I'm still thinking candy apple red, cherry red, something striking. Yeah, nice looking peppers though. Over here we've got the paper lantern hanging out in seclusion. Seems to be doing okay. Took a couple of pods off here the other day because they were all orange, no red. Just not going red. I am seeing some aphid activity, so I'm going to shake that off over the fish tank. Well, I just checked in the bottom container here when I picked it up to shake it in the fish tank, and wouldn't you know, lots of water in there, so clearly overwatering, but at least it's got drainage, so I was able to pick it up, dump it into the sump well, forget about it for now. Hopefully that will help. So while I am trying hard not to overwater these plants, apparently it still is very much an option. It's where these fabric planters is coming in nice and handy this year with my indoor plants. I just put a little bit in the bottom tray, like has been suggested so many times. Gets sucked up through the bottom. I know I'm not overwatering them, so that is excellent. Here's the El Oro de Ecuador. I love these ones that are just in the middle of changing color. Looks like it should be a bowling ball or something. Another kind of striped one in here. Hopefully you can see it through all the leaves. Yeah, there you go. Very cool watching that change color. We'll give the plant a shake. And I'm still losing a few leaves here and there. But there's lots and lots of new growth. I think this is going to stick it around. Hopefully still be here in the 2019 garden season. I am super excited. Things are looking really good with a lot of these peppers. The flowers over here on the sand dollar, it's just killing me. But again, if we look really carefully at it, we can see there's a lot of new growth coming in. It seems to remember how this indoor plant thing works. Oh, so exciting. Might have a couple losses like the red demon over there or the matchbox up there. But if I only lose one or two over the course of the winter as compared to I was only able to save one or two, I don't think I care all that much, you know? I'm just happy to have so many of them still growing. Especially with that snow that came down yesterday. I mean, sure, it's turned to rain now. It's starting to wash it all away. We're probably going to have a few warm days between now and really real winter. But technically, according to my calendar, today is the beginning of fall. So we've got a whole season that kind of got missed there. It does help me, well, really appreciate those little tiny victories in basement gardening when it's so hit or miss just how long I'm going to have with an outdoor season. Crazy. Anyway, let's look at a couple more things down here before I wrap it up. Hanging over by the aquaponics, we've got some corn that I'm attempting to dry. We'll see how that works. It's not popcorn or anything, but I thought it would be interesting just to see if I could hang it and dry it and maybe feed some of it to the hens as a treat. So far so good with that stuff. It looks kind of weird, but yeah, I don't mind. Then we will pan around to the aquaponics here, grab some of this today, because the hens seem to really like the mint. I've got that one planter out in their pen, and they've been seen nibbling at it on a number of occasions, so that is exciting. We can see most of the herbs here are doing pretty well. I guess it's entirely an herb aquaponic garden now, isn't it? Still, if it grows well, I see no reason to mess with it. Like I was saying, the outdoor gardening season is so questionable. Yeah, I'm just really happy to be able to grow even some fresh herbs in such a basic system down here in the dungeon. Here's that one seedling that sprouted up down here. Again, in theory, a Naga Viper. Looks like we might have another seed kind of pushing its way up there. Looks like we might have another one pushing its way up there. See that from the side? They do seem to be pretty much the same. The one's downstairs, the one upstairs. Well, let's find out. Once they grow up a little bit, start putting on true leaves. Speaking of growing up a little bit, here we have the mystery worm bin peppers. These ones doing okay-ish. Not terrible. That's good. See, we haven't really lost any more from these ones transplanted into the mini party cups. That one's not looking fantastic, but we are getting true leaves forming. Oh, look how obvious those true leaves are. Very nice. Some in there, some in there, some there, some there, some there. So while I have no idea what those peppers are, I have a great start to seedlings for the 2019 season. And for all that we pepper gardeners are encouraged to try what we grow, I almost hope they're a weird kind of sweet pepper, because I could kind of use the break. Apparently my tolerance is not what it used to be. So, yeah. If that Naga pipe, I will try this again in English. Close to anyway. If that Naga Viper pepper is indeed what it is, then that's going to be a whole lot of heat. If that Reaper in the windowsill upstairs is what it is, that's going to be a whole lot of heat. Still got a yellow scorpion somehow over there that's still alive from last year's overwintered peppers. Potentially that's a lot of heat, although I have yet to see an actual pot on that plant, so still waiting is there. But yeah, I have a lot of heat already on the go, so if those happened to accidentally be a sweeter pepper, I would totally be okay with that. If they're a killer hot pepper, I'm okay with that too. It's all win, isn't it? Especially volunteer plants, it's always all win. And that, folks, is where I'm going to wrap it up for today's look at everything that's growing on. I'm not sure when we'll be back. I've got a lot to kind of figure out outside right now as we're suddenly skipping fall and going straight into winter. So I can't quite focus on as much indoor garden stuff as I'd like to. But I will be here as often as I can, and I will see you next time. Take care, everybody.